Okay, so when we're looking at post-absorptive state, we can see now, let's add terms to that state and say, okay, when we look at fasting, as soon as you get to 4 hours after you ate and you haven't eaten again, you're fasting. After that 4 hours right there, they're fasting, which is the post-absorptive state. Okay, and so now you see what's happening during fasting, right? You went through glycogenolysis, you went through your lipolysis, protein catabolism, gluconeogenesis. You're starting that process, right? It's just that fasting, we only consider it fasting after that 4 hours to a few days. That's it. Once you get into a couple of weeks, now that's called starvation. But let's go back to fasting just so that you can see what's happening when you start to actually have a whole bunch of this lipolysis and protein catabolism occurring. All right, let's focus on what the results are that you're going to get from protein catabolism and lipolysis. Well, you know it already. You start forming a whole bunch of what? These 2 carbon molecules. All right, so what I want you to pay attention to now is that once you form a whole bunch of these 2 carbon molecules from breaking down your fatty acids and putting amino acids into this Krebs cycle, or at least deamination, going through deamination, you start to have a 2 carbon molecule bond with another 2 carbon molecule. Right? So let me put that bond in between the two, right, to show you that, you know, they created a different molecule here that's now 4 carbons. You see? And so what we called the 2 carbon was acetyl-CoA, right? But what we call this guy is acetic acid. You see, you get it because it's 2 acetyl-CoAs. So we just say acetic acid. And that's actually what we call a ketone body. That's a ketone what? Now you get what a ketone body is. It's a what? Acid. Okay, Miss Selena? The ketone body is an acid. And what's happening while you're fasting, right, is that you're getting a buildup of this what? Acid. What we call ketone bodies. So when you're in a post-absorptive state and you still don't go without eating, you're going to build up with acid in your fluid. And we know what that means because we've been through the fluids and electrolytes chapter. That's not that good, right? That's not that good. But this is why it's good, guys. This is why it's good. It's good because, okay, even though he's an acid, okay, when we talk about cells like neurons cannot take fatty acids into that area. Neurons can't receive fatty acids because there's a blood-brain barrier that we're going to talk about soon. Right? Blood-brain barrier won't let fatty acids in. So if that's the case, your neurons can't get energy from this source, which is a lipid source. Okay? You can't get energy from it. So to solve the problem so that neurons can get energy when you don't have glucose around, you form ketone bodies. Okay? Ketone bodies are going to now actually do what? Be the source of energy that your brain needs. Don't forget, don't forget that your neurons need to keep you what? Awake. Neurons are related to consciousness. Right? So here you're starving yourself, or right now fasting, and you need a source of what? Energy for these cells. That source now becomes more of a more major source for energy as it relates to your brain neurons. Is what? Ketone bodies. Okay. In fact, yeah, it increases just in 2 days of fasting. It increases up to 30%. Okay, your body starts to use 30% more, or make 30% more what? Ketone bodies. Okay. And it keeps going. Ketone body formation continues up to. It will increase up to about 70% once you're in starvation mode. 70% more ketone bodies than you had before. But what does that mean? What does that mean? If you have 70% now more ketone bodies, what's your fluid looking like? It's more acidic. So there's a price that comes with that process. Yes, your neurons are still able to function because it gets ATP. But now you're acidic. You're very acidic. Starvation, when you're in starvation mode, you become very what? Acidic. So even if those neurons what? Are functioning because they have energy, they begin to start to do what? Shut down anyway, because we know that's a sign of metabolic what? Acidosis. All right, neurons shut down, you have a chance you can go into a coma. So starvation, you can go into a coma, right? But your body was cleverly trying to figure out, well, how do I get energy? Because let me make sure that's clear. Your body, when you talk about post-absorptive state, the biggest issue is certain cells, and that's two major cells. Red blood cells and neurons, because those are the cells that highly rely upon who? Glucose, right? More than any other cell. In fact, red blood cells, they don't even what? They don't even actually, they don't have a mitochondria. So even if you talk about putting what? This 2-carbon guy in here, he's not going to be able to use them anyway. If you don't have a mitochondria, which red blood cells don't, they can't do the Krebs cycle in the electron transport. You see? So they highly rely upon your what? Glucose. They need glucose. Thank goodness for what? Gluconeogenesis, right? You see? Okay? So, gluconeogenesis is making sure red blood cells stay alive. Your neurons continue to still function because of gluconeogenesis and what? And the fact that what? Your ketone bodies can cross the blood-brain barrier. Now you got your 2-carbon guys that can split again. They become 2 carbons each and then go into the Krebs cycle, electron transfer. They get plenty of energy. So your brain is living off of ketone bodies. But keep that in mind. There was a diet before, like I mentioned in class, that did the wrong thing. If you don't eat any carbs, your body's it's going straight into what? The things that it gets second, right? The things that it needs second. And that means you're in a post-absorptive state consistently. That's good. No, that's not good, because what are you building up? Ketone body, getting sick. That's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. It's good to take in some carbs, right? Because your body cells want to use that first, right? Very good.
Please,
Yes.
I would like to take you back in the room.